Hey guys, welcome back to Meryl's Music Room. Today is Wednesday and we are going to go over our composer of the week. And I would be lying if I said that this was not one of my favorite composers because he is. This composer's name is George Gershwin and he is an American composer. Very similar around the time of Aaron Copland, which we talked about a few weeks ago. George Gershwin was born in 1898 and he lived till 1937, so he didn't even make it to the age of 40. He died very young, and that was due to a brain tumor. Now, he is one of the best examples of somebody who comes into the industry of music, kind of starting on the bottom tier of what musicians do and then really working his way to stardom. He began originally composing songs for piano rolls, which are these unique type of pianos that have these little rolls that have kind of like braille things in them, and it scrolls through, kind of like a music box if you've ever seen the inside of a music box. That or they would have holes. But piano rolls were really popular during his lifetime because people could just put them in a piano roll piano and just let them play, and nobody would have to play the piece of music, but it was using a real piano to make the sound. And he also worked as a song plugger, which is basically people would give him new pieces of music, and he would sit in stores and he would play them, and that's how people got to hear what the music sounded like before they decided if they wanted to buy that music or not, to learn themselves to play, because back then we didn't have MP3s and you couldn't just go sample a song on YouTube. They would have to actually hear it, so he would play these pieces of music. He was really big in Tin Pan Alley as well as Broadway, which some of you guys may know what those are. Those are kind of the center of American music at the time. And he was known for writing things like jazz and ragtime as well as opera. He was very, very unique in that sense. He had a brother named Ira Gershwin who was also a composer, and they composed music for plays on Broadway and things like that. At one point in his life, Gershwin decided to travel to France to study with a woman named Nadia Boulanger. I'm not exactly sure of the last name on that, but she was one of the big teachers of music at that time. And if you were anybody in music, you studied with her. And he got there and he said, okay, I want to study with you. And she looked at him and she looked at his music and she said, there's nothing I can teach you. Anything I could teach you will ruin you. So she basically said, what you're doing is so unique that if I were to teach you, it would ruin the beautiful music that you are making, which is really kind of cool. He also, when he was in Paris, met Maurice Ravel, who was a composer, but he is actually best known for his orchestrations. He was a beautiful orchestrator, and in a famous quote, Gershwin had gone up to Ravel and said, I want you to teach me how you do what you do. And Ravel looked at him and said, how about you teach me? Because at the time, Gershwin was one of the few people making a living as a composer, whereas Ravel was very interested in just trying to figure out how it was that he was so successful. So Ravel was like, I can't teach you anything, you need to be teaching me how to do all this. Now, he also, later on in life, worked in Hollywood, and he composed film scores, which is kind of cool, because we don't see a whole lot of composers who really transverse every aspect of music. So he began his career making piano rolls and playing piano in music stores to working in Hollywood and traveling the world. Now, some of his best known pieces are Rhapsody in Blue, and I have shared a link of that at the end of the video and in the description. And the reason I really like this piece is because it showcases the piano, which is our instrument of the week. So really go and check that out. You have probably heard that song before because it is one of the American classics. Beautiful, beautiful piece of music. And then I have also shared the piece American in Paris, which of course is inspired by his time in France, in Paris, when he was trying to find somebody to study with and nobody would take him. And you probably have also heard that piece. I have also included a piece from his opera Porgy and Bess. It's his best known opera, although at the time when it came out it was not very popular. And nowadays we have groups winning Tonys for their renditions of Porgy and Bess. It has really gotten itself a new life in the modern era, whereas during its time on Broadway and on the scene. It was not that well received. But I have a version of Summertime played and sung by Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, who are two of my favorite jazz artists. If you ever heard me talk about them, absolute favorite. It's a beautiful rendition. Please go check it out. And then I also have a link to his song called I Got Rhythm that came from a film, I believe it's film score. And later on, after he passed away, someone created a Broadway musical based off of Gershwin's music. And the excerpt that I have attached to there for you is from the Broadway musical called American Paris, and it features the song I Got Rhythm. It's one of his best known pieces of music. So check out those videos. There are a lot of them, but they are fantastic works of music, and you will be very, very happy to listen to them, because they give me a lot of joy when I listen to them. They're some of my favorite pieces of music. So this is George Gershwin, our American composer. Really awesome stuff. For tomorrow, we're going to be doing the clapping game called Dr. Knickenbocker. It is a circle clapping game, but we are going to alter it to accommodate for social distancing, so just be aware of that. For Friday, for our STEAM activity, we're going to be making popsicle stick harmonicas. Okay, super fun. For that, you're going to need 2 popsicle sticks, preferably the wider ones. The thin ones, I'm not sure if they will work as well. I've always used the wide ones, so try to get wide ones. You will need 3 rubber bands, specifically, or preferably, 2 thin rubber bands and 1 wide rubber band, so you can get that. And then I am going to be using a straw to make my separating pieces, because I feel like it is the easiest thing to cut. But if you do not have a straw, I have also in the past used toothpicks, and I have used cardboard, just something a little bit thick to use as your separating piece. So if you don't have a straw, so long as you have something that can substitute for it, you should be fine. Check out those works by George Gershwin, because they are amazing and you're going to love them. And I will see you guys tomorrow.